All right, dude, we are live. What's up, guys? This is Damn Keys, and holy shit, dude. Let me tell you, 2025 has not started out the way that I thought it would, at least streaming wise. It has not gone the way that I thought it would. I've been on sort of an unintentional hiatus, at least in terms of doing talking streams. I ended up having being on. I'm not sure how to say that when you're using the word hiatus. I ended up going on an unintentional hiatus. I did manage to do a couple of mute streams, a couple of my data science lab streams, but in terms of like talking streams, I just haven't been able to. Like, okay, so without going into specifics, I had a bit of a family emergency. Give me a second. I just realized I have my mute text on. Okay, yeah. So without going into specifics, I had a bit of a family emergency because of which I wasn't able to stream because my schedule it kind of just went all over the place, and so my usual stream time it kind of uh, let's just say it got disrupted. And then after that emergency was over, there were a couple of other things, uh, again, family related stuff that I had to take care of, because of which I just didn't manage to get back on track with doing my regular streams. And I did manage to do some mute streams here and there. To be honest, I feel like I could have done a better job with trying to do the mute streams, but I just couldn't. I just I don't know what to say. I just didn't do it, and now here we are. It is uh, February 22nd. It is 22nd of Feb, 2025, and well, I think this might be the second talking stream of the year. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to check my VODs. Give me a second. I okay. So I also have this thing where I upload the VODs to my VODs channel on YouTube, and I haven't been doing a good job of doing that either. Oh, okay. You know what? So no, this isn't the second. This is maybe the fifth talking stream of 2025, because I'm looking at the VODs here, and apparently I did a couple of talking streams in January, and then I had, you know, yeah, I just ended up having to take a break. But the good news is that we are slowly getting back into it, and I'm trying to bring back the talking streams, and at the very least, I want to make more of an effort to do the mute streams, because those I can do at any time of the day. So yeah, I should try to do that. I kind of have something where like I would be able to do mute streams as well. I could do this thing where like I wake up and then do a short stream, maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, something. A mute stream, a short mute stream, and then depending on what time of the day it is, later on I could do a talking stream. I do want to do more talking streams though, because the mute streams I don't upload them to my VODs channel. It's just the talking streams that I upload. Something I do want to try at some point in time. I don't know how I'm gonna go about doing this. Um, I wanna try setting up for the mute streams. I wanna try setting up, um, how do I say this? A speech to text to speech system. So it's a system that takes in my vocals and then converts it to text, and then spits out something in. Actually, no, it converts it to text and then feeds that into a text to speech model, and then that spits out the audio. Um, hopefully I can get something set up. There's a bunch of things that I wanna try out. Okay, so my thing is I usually jump from one project to another to another to another. So it's kind of a good thing that I have this data science lab thing set up. So if I do manage to, keep up with the data science streams, then I would be doing, a little bit of data science here, a little bit of data science there, and hopefully we should make more progress because I've kind of paused on data science. So okay, whatever I've been up to for the past like 2 weeks or something, 2, 3 weeks, a bunch of different things. I tried to keep up with the data science stuff as well. I did to a certain extent, but not as much as I would like to. Definitely haven't been practicing neural network stuff as much as I would like to. I did practice a little bit. In between, I had sort of a distraction where I suddenly started doing research on um, how do I say this? Embedded Rust programming for ESP32. ESP32 is a microcontroller, for those of you who don't know. And I've been playing around with those things. They're nice, cheap microcontrollers that you can get off of AliExpress or any other website that sells like cheap electronics. And so I've been playing around with those microcontrollers on and off when I have the time, but I was using MicroPython to do it. I wasn't using uh, so okay, you could use C C++. That's like out of the box. That's what they're gonna encourage. But I got into it hoping that I could use MicroPython, and that's what I was using. And they have a decent set of tools for doing development using ESP32. How do I say this? For doing MicroPython development using ESP32, and then after a while, I wanted to try out Rust. And Rust is one of those things where, like, dude, I love the language. I keep trying to find reasons to use the language. And recently, I decided to look into embedded programming with Rust. So that's one excuse for me to use Rust, which is great. And it's great because there's already like a decent set of tools available for you to use Rust on ESP32, and there's also decent documentation to help you get things set up. I was able to get things set up, and I had like a very basic LED blinking circuit kind of thing that's running ESP32. Wait, that's running Rust code on ESP32. I was about to say that that's running ESP32 code, but that doesn't make sense. But yeah, I was able to get a very basic thing set up where I was running Rust code on an ESP32 to make an LED blink, and I'm just gonna build up from there because there's a bunch of different things to explore. Um, First, I want to try doing very basic stuff with the ESP32 with the ESP32 using Rust. Then I want to go into slightly more advanced things like using various serial communication things, various serial communication protocols that are there, because these protocols are going to help communicate with various modules, which is the next step because I want to set up more complex circuits. Okay, from there, So that was my first distraction, I guess you can say. I mean, there were a couple of other small distractions here and there, but that was, I guess we can count that as the first distraction. And from there, I then one day all of a sudden got interested again in learning analog electronics. So to help you understand, when you're doing stuff with microcontrollers, a lot of the time you are doing digital electronics. You're not often doing analog electron, though you do. The microcontrollers do give you the ability to do analog electronics stuff if you need to, but a lot of the time you are able to get away with just doing digital stuff, and it's the same with other microcontrollers like Arduino, for example. um, what was I saying? Yeah. So okay, analog electronics is also kind of interesting because when I started electronics years ago, as a hobby, I started by learning analog electronics. I didn't get too deep into it, but I got deep enough that I was able to do basic calculations to set up very basic circuits, and also play around with very basic circuits. I also developed very basic skills like soldering stuff, for example. Um, but I didn't go too deep into analog electronics. And before I actually went too deep into it, I ended up moving over to digital electronics, which is great. I'm not complaining about that, but I did want to go back to analog electronics and explore it a little more just to get a little more knowledge. I don't plan on going like too deep and too advanced with it, but how do I say this? I wanna get enough knowledge in analog electronics that I would be able to comfortably set up circuits that use resistors, capacitors, and transistors, because there are calculations involved for each of these. I've To a certain extent I've done transistor circuits. I've also done the calculation for transistor circuits. I haven't done the calculations for capacitor circuits or circuits that involve capacitors. So, and another very important thing that I wanted to learn was circuit analysis, analyzing series circuits, parallel circuits, and a mixture of series and parallel circuits. Because I was always curious about how these very complex circuits that we see, how these circuits are made. So I was trying to do a bunch of research to understand how these things, like people who design these circuits, how exactly they go about doing those calculations and stuff. And I want to be able to do those calculations, not for more advanced circuits, but just being able to analyze the circuit and having enough knowledge of resistors, capacitors, and transistors to be able to set up a circuit that involves these components. Like, for example, I would like to be able to set up a simple 555 timer circuit. I would also like to be able to set up a circuit. Oh, actually, okay, yeah, hold on. So I just remembered why I kind of got back into, like, what kind of brought me back towards the analog side, or trying to do more research on the analog side. First of all, I mean, I planned on learning these things at some point later anyways, but this kind of like rushed me towards that side. So there's a project that I had in mind for summer. So you have humidifiers, which basically you, how do I explain this? Look up how a humidifier works online. You have this thing in which you'll put some water, and then there's a actually there's a couple of different components that are involved in a humidifier, but the result of that is that the water gets converted into a sort of mist. That I guess that's the best. Is that the would that be considered a mist? I think it's considered a mist, right? Yeah, yeah. So the water gets converted into a mist, and it sort of, I guess you can say, humidifies the environment. Now, in my case, what I plan on using this for is during summers, it gets incredibly hot where I live, and it gets so hot that a bunch of my plants just end up dying. So I do a bunch of like gardening. I don't have like a big backyard because I live in an apartment. But fortunately, the apartment does have two balconies, and in those balconies, I've kept my plants. Now, during summer, it gets so damn hot that a bunch of my plants just end up dying out, and there isn't much that I can do to stop it, short of actually bringing the plants back inside. I've tried, I've tried kind of using extra nets, extra meshes, and stuff to sort of reduce the amount of sunlight that comes in, and thereby hopefully reduce how hot the area gets. But that doesn't seem to be helping. Like it helped to a certain extent, but like it wasn't able to stop a bunch of the plants from dying. It did help, like, to a certain extent. So that told me that cooling off the place a little bit does help. And so I started doing research on uh, different ways to, like, maybe spray the area with water, or mist the area with water, or whatever. Just spray some kind of vapor, some kind of water vapor kind of thing in the area to hopefully cool everything down. And that led me to humidifiers, and doing research about how humidifiers help in cooling off an area. And after doing a bunch of research, I also found small humidifiers that can be powered by USB, or, well, I don't know if they can be powered by a USB port specifically. Maybe they can. I don't know if it's a good idea to plug them into a USB port directly, even though it is a micro USB port. But yeah, you can connect a phone charger to it, and then you can press a button, and the thing will release, whatever mist. Of course, you have to put the thing into some water and let it absorb the water, so it can then convert that into mist. Okay, so here's the fun part. What I want to do is I want to control a bunch of these small humidifier circuits using an ESP32. And there's going to be a bunch of other things involved as well. There's going to be sensors involved here and there. There's going to be sensors that measure temperature and humidity, and maybe even, oh, actually, there needs to be a sensor for the water level of the reservoir in which the water that's going to be, converted to mist is going to be kept. So there's going to be a bunch of sensors, and there's also, well, the ESP32 is also going to be used for timing. So I need a microcontroller connected to the thing for various reasons. And I want the humidifiers to be controlled through the microcontroller. Initially, I was thinking it would be as simple as, just hooking into the place where there's supposed to be a button. I can, like, desolder the button and just connect a wire and then connect the other end to ground, and we should be good. But after doing some research, it seems like that it might not be that simple, because it might end up pulling current from the ESP32 instead of its own power source. So I'm going to need to use a transistor instead. You can use transistors as switches, where you give it a small signal to allow like a bigger signal to flow through, or you give it a small current to allow a bigger current to flow through. And that's what brought me back to doing research on analog electronic stuff. And yeah, that's where I'm at. And also in the past couple of days, I suddenly got distracted with another project idea. This is sort of a, I can't really go into detail with this specific project because it's to help out a family member, and it's sort of a finance related project. So yeah, I've been working on that project. I just suddenly got the idea, and that idea was for a project that could solve a problem, and so I started working on it, and I've just been busy with that for the past, I don't know, 3 4 days. I've been making good progress, so that's a good thing. And it's times like these that I'm glad that I took the time to learn pandas, the pandas Python library, because holy shit, dude, I've been using pandas for so many different things. It is insane. I've been I've been using pandas for a lot of different things. Like, you've got data science stuff, you've got ML stuff, and you've got like basic even accounting stuff that I've been using pandas for that isn't even data science related. Um, I've been using it for a bunch of different things, and holy shit, dude, it was learning pandas was definitely time well spent, I would say. I'm still learning. Like, each time I have to use pandas for something, I get to learn something new about it because there's just so much to do. There's just so much that you can do with pandas. You're not going to learn everything in one go. There's always going to be something that you don't know about it, and you're going to be exploring it, or you're going to be exploring the library and learning more and more new stuff. There's always going to be something. Uh, but yeah, I'm trying to get done with that project because I don't want to spend too much time working on that project. I've made a fair bit of progress on it. There's still some work to be done, and I'm doing that. And once that is done, I would definitely like to get back to. Well, I don't want to. I don't want to abandon the analog electronics thing. I want to keep going with that. Um, which is why I'm trying to limit how much time I spend in the analog electronics stuff. Because okay, here is what I'm trying. Let me open. Give me a second. Okay, I think the UI has glitched. So what is it? A? Yeah, it's A, and that adds a new cell. Okay, cool. So what I'm trying. I think this is a code cell. I need a markdown cell. Okay, so here's what I'm trying to accomplish with analog electronics. Okay, I want to learn, um, or well, relearn. So okay, in in terms of resistors, I don't really need to learn anything, or well, I don't, because I've used resistors enough and done enough calculations with resistors that at this point I think I'm good. That being said, I still need help with analyzing resistor circuits, be it series or parallel or series parallel, or like, more complex circuits. I would still need help with that. Circuit analysis is definitely something that I need to look into. Um, and I think the best way to go about doing that would be just playing with a 555 timer IC and actually understanding how how do I say this? Actually being able to calculate and predict how the timer is going to behave, not just plugging in components and hoping it works. I want to be able to to calculate that. Oh, okay, at this point in time, uh, it's gonna emit so many pulses, these many pulses, or whatever, something like that, right? Um, and 555 timer IC is just it's just one thing that I can use, but there's a bunch of other things that I can use this knowledge for as well. The 555 timer IC is just one very good thing that I can you know use. Um, yeah, okay, so learn basics of resistors. I don't need to learn the basics, but I'm gonna add it in here anyways. Capacitors. Actually, okay, not necessarily the basics of these components, but the basics of calculations. Basics of calculations of resistors, capacitors, and transistors. These are the three most important components for me. I'm trying to remember if there are any others. Because, I mean, you have other more advanced things like inductors and diodes. Actually, diodes would be diodes. Yeah, okay. I can add diodes because I might need to use them in some circuits. But yeah, you have stuff like inductors, which I'm not going to be using. I'm going to be, well, I mean, I'm not going to be explicitly using them. They might very well be included in circuits that I'm using, but circuits that I'm designing are not going to directly include inductor components that I need to factor in the calculation for. Likewise, with diodes, also, it might be a similar situation. It's just like I feel like diodes would be for those one off situations where I absolutely need to make sure that current doesn't pass through in one direction or something like that, because that's what diodes do, right? They make sure that the current is only going in one direction. I need to look into what else they do. So I guess I need to do research on this as well. Okay, cool. uh then learn how to analyze series, parallel, what, hold on, parallel, there, parallel and series parallel circuits. What else? Uh, learn how to design circuits. This, I mean, this is kind of, oh, learn how to, um, learn how to do calculations for circuits being designed. There you go. I wasn't sure how to word that, but yeah, that's these are the three things that I'm hoping to accomplish by spending some time with the analog side of electronics. And I don't want to spend too much time on it because I do need to get back to doing ESP32 stuff. Um, Another reason I don't want to spend too much time on it is because I have to get back to doing data science stuff. Speaking of data science stuff, we need to get back to a couple of things. Okay, first of all, uh, playing around with neural networks, uh, experiment with different architectures. Then there was the Hugging Face small course, which I never finished, which was, from what I remember, it was aimed at teaching you how to fine tune various, or I think it was specifically aimed at LLMs. But yeah, it was teaching you how to fine tune LLMs. I don't remember what else it was teaching you, but that was definitely one of the things that the course was teaching. And prior to that, there was something from Kaggle that I was looking into. Uh, I think it was the 5 day um, Gen AI course, I think it was called. I don't remember. This course was focusing on generative AI models. It did include LLMs, but I don't think it was limited to just LLMs. Um, yeah, I need to get back to these dude. Just getting back to these three things alone is going to be a huge it's going to mean huge progress for me. And I just remembered we were also learning how to use the Transformers library, the Hugging Face Transformers library. There were multiple different components within that as well. Okay, I just missed the ad timer, and so in like the next maybe 30 seconds or something, there's going to be an ad playing. But yeah, dude, in terms of AI related stuff, this is definitely what I need to be focusing on. And if I manage to get done with this, it's I'm already gonna know so much because I mean I'm definitely not gonna stop at this point. But like once I learn this stuff, I'm gonna learn how to do a bunch of extra things. Like okay, give me a second. In here, there was a thing of backbones. Let me see if I'm able to bring it up. There was also this Git stuff that I was learning, and okay, there's the ad. So let the ad finish. In the meantime, I'll take a hydration break, and I'll see you guys in 30 seconds. All right, welcome back. So, what was I saying? Yeah, I was also doing Git stuff. This is another thing that I need to get back to. I mean, to be fair, I have been carrying on with my Git research. Give me a second. In here, I think I was in this section. I'd stopped here, working with remotes. I remember there were a couple of things here that I needed to look into. Definitely need to finish the well, I need to finish this section and then branching. I can look into the basics of branching, um, branching and merging. I don't think I need to look into these more advanced things unless I actually get to the point where I need them. And then I'm gonna need to do this, the GitHub setup thing. Oh, actually, I just remembered. Git on the server. Yeah, I'm gonna need to set this thing up as well because I wanna do a thing where I'm able to use the Git protocol locally on like a local network. And from what I understand, through Git, you are able to use the Git protocol, and you are able to um, work on a project. Or how do I say this? You should be able to set up um, you should be able to set up your main repo on a different system, and then you can clone it from a completely different system that's on the same network. And then you should also be able to like you know pull and push and stuff like that. I want to be able to set up that kind of workflow because I do need something for my local projects. I don't want to put everything onto GitHub, but I do want to use Git for a bunch of my different projects. Even this new finance project that I started, I set up a Git repo for that as well, and I'm gonna be doing that for a bunch of my projects in the future because, dude, once you get comfortable with Git, once you understand uh, what Git is and how it works and how it can help, then you can really start to appreciate how useful it can be for backup related purposes, but also for like there's a bunch of different use cases for it. It's not just for backup, but like the version control aspect of it, which Git is a version control system. The version control aspect of it is incredibly powerful because it allows you to it allows you to keep multiple backups within the same project itself. So you can like jump between different versions of the project, and you can also there's also stuff like branching, for example, where you can have like a separate working copy, and then you're developing that working copy, and at some point you can merge that into the main branch, and or I forgot what the main branch is called. But yeah, you can merge that into the main branch and carry on working in that way. There's a lot that you can do with Git. Once you get into using Git, you can really appreciate the various things that Git allows you to do. So I'm definitely going to be setting it up for a bunch of my different projects. At some point, I did want to set it up for my VTuber app as well. I haven't done that yet. I'm definitely going to make a backup of it before setting up the repo, just in case something goes wrong. And I do want to move my project over to my Linux machine after that, just because doing development on my Linux machine, doing Unity development on my Linux machine is so much easier. Dude, I just remembered I had a plan to work on um, a game, and then this family emergency happened, and like a bunch of things, they just went all over the place, and so like the game thing also just never happened. Like that sucks, but I guess I guess it is what it is. At some point, once I've okay, so my idea with the game was to somehow include my deep learning stuff that I'm doing. I wanted to somehow include it into the game. So I wanted to build a game that uses those things, right? Um, and one way that I thought of doing that was through the Onyx runtime, which is great because like you already have Onyx support in Unity, not out of the box, but through the Centis package, which is being developed by Unity. So it's essentially out of the box. But yeah, there is proper Unity support. It's not even like third party support. It's Unity support. Their CentOS library includes, or their CentOS package includes the Onyx runtime, their implementation of the Onyx runtime, which allows you to run the Onyx runtime within Unity itself. Meaning, if you have any deep learning models, if you have any say neural networks, whatever the architecture may be, you can then translate that to an Onyx model and then execute that in any Onyx runtime, meaning you can also execute it in Unity. Okay, so before I started today's stream, I was like, I'm gonna have to slowly ease into doing the talking streams again, because, well, if I don't do the talking streams for a while, then whatever progress I've made in terms of talking, it kind of just goes down the drain, and I'm back to square one where I'm not even able to speak for, I don't know, half an hour without my voice getting all like weird, and the whole stress on the vocal cords and all that. But yeah, okay. Wait, I just jumped between a bunch of different topics. Oh yeah, okay. So, once I've started moving forward with doing the neural network stuff, which today after this talking stream, we are 100% gonna be doing a data science lab stream. I'm gonna I don't think I'm gonna raid anyone. Uh, I'm just gonna go get something to eat. Um, and after that, I'll start the data science stream. So, well, the data science lab stream. Dude, you know what I want to do? I still don't know how I'm gonna set this up. I mean, I could set it up. Because like I can stream off of my phone, so I could set it up. But like I wanna do one stream where I'm soldering stuff. I wanna try to do a stream where I'm soldering stuff. But like I would have to set the whole thing up. I don't know how convenient that's gonna be. Because like I mean I have the tripod, I have, you know, my phone. I'm gonna be streaming off of the phone. Um, but like I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. Another thing I'm gonna need to be extremely careful about is um I need to make sure I have some kind of protective cover on my phone just in case any of the solder jumps and, you know, hits the camera or something, and then it'll destroy the camera. So I don't want to take that risk. I still don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure stream the if I'll stream that. I do want to stream working on working on ESP32 projects. That's a little less risky. Um, but like that would involve a setup of its own, which I can set that up. That's not a problem. I can definitely set that up. I have a webcam that I can set up and uh, do a bunch of stuff. I don't know. I'll see if that is web. I'll see if that's live content or if I should just leave that for videos. Like I can record myself working on these projects and then, you know, slice it up and make a video for TikTok and YouTube and stuff like that. Let's see. Let's see. But yeah, okay. So, um now, you know what? Okay. So, there's a couple of things that we need to sort of get back to, right? Um so we have data science, right? Then we had the game dev project. Gave what? Gave them. Gave them. Game dev. Holy shit. Okay. Game dev project, right? And then we have ESP32, right? That's not necessarily going to be on stream though. That's mostly off stream content. And then what else? There were a couple of things that I was supposed to get back to. Fortunately, a bunch of my stuff now revolves around AI, or you know, working on AI tech and studying AI tech. Um, so that's good. At least you know, in my eyes, that's a good thing. I did have this thing where I wanted to, dude. I just okay. As much as I want to do those, what do you call it? As much as I want to do the Kaggle competitions and stuff, I just don't have the time for that, dude. there's so many other things that I need to be doing. I just don't have the time for the Kaggle competitions. I remember back when I joined Kaggle, I was like super excited to join various Kaggle competitions. Maybe at some point in the future I might do it again once I've um, once I've learned more data science related stuff, once I've learned about more data science algorithms, more deep learning related things, once I have more tools under my belt, so to speak, then I might go and explore those things again. But I feel like I'm still in that stage, deep learning wise and data science wise, where I have a bunch of things to explore and a bunch of things to learn. And because of that, I don't have nearly enough time to participate in competitions. As great as they may be, I don't think I have the time for that right now. And even if I did participate in any of the competitions, I think uh, well, first of all, I'm going to start with the monthly Kaggle competitions that they do. I think they're monthly. I don't remember, but they do them quite often. Uh, there's no prize money for those. As they like to say, you just get swag for doing that, and that's cool. Like you're doing the competition just for fun. Not to mention doing the competition, you're gonna get to learn because you're not the only one doing it. There's a bunch of other people doing it, and the interesting thing is, let me show you. Actually, hold on. Let me show you something interesting about. So I'm sure at this point there must be a new Kaggle competition going on. So we're gonna open up one of these. Wait, this is interesting. Solve national level mathematical challenge. Okay, cool. K prize. What is this? Konwinsky prize. What? Oh God, $1.2 million. dollars. What is this? I just got baited, dude. What is this? Okay, $1 million dollars for the AI that can close 90% of. Okay, $1 million dollars for the AI that can close 90% of new GitHub issues. This competition requires identity verification. That makes sense. Okay. Description. I fell in love with SWE Bench. What is that? Okay, I'll look into that later. The moment I saw it, with a great idea, what a great idea. Have AIs solve real issues from popular GitHub repos. SWE Bench felt more difficult, grounded, and relevant than other AI benchmarks. But I've always wondered how the leaderboard would change if the test set weren't public. So for this competition, we will collect a new test set after the submission deadline. I also believe in the power of open source communities. So for this competition, cash will only be awarded to submissions that use open source code and open weight models. I like that. I like that. Automating this task will let human software engineers spend lots more time designing new features. Reform. Actually, that's true. No, that's a good point. That is a great point, dude. No, okay, hold up. Like, think about this. Think about humans being able to design the features and implement them, and then AI can step in to fix whatever bugs that there may be. Like the humans can define a set of parameters, a set of rules and stuff that need to be followed, and um, how the features need to work and all of that stuff, and they can provide the basic implementation, or not even basic, they can provide the implementation, the entire implementation. They can focus on working on the core of the implementation, and then once it's implemented, of course bugs are going to pop up, and as bugs pop up, AI can be used to solve those bugs. AI can be used to fix those bugs. Yeah, I feel like that would save a lot of time. Assuming the AI is able to do it without turning the code into spaghetti code, yes. Designing new features, reforming abstractions, interfacing with users, and other tasks that are more inherently human, and for many of us, more fun. Um, okay, I had to pause there for a second because in the back of my head, it was just like, yeah, interfacing with users is not fun. But like, I mean, it depends. It depends. Like, I mean, this is coming from a very antisocial, introverted person with anxiety and a very low social battery, somebody who just doesn't like interacting with people. Um, well, interacting with random people, I should say. But yeah, okay. If we get this right, we can spend less time fixing bugs and more time building. Now let's get AI actually solving our GitHub issues. You know what I'm wondering? Okay, let me look up this name. Oh, this person co-founded Perplexity. That's crazy, dude. So for a second there, I was like, this seems too good to be true. This seems too good to be true. Also, hold up. Okay, so maybe like this is legit. Like, I mean, the thing is on Kaggle. I don't think they're gonna put a scam up there. Um, that being said, I noticed the evaluation thing, and this is something that I need to uh, dive deeper into as well in terms of data science, because you have the models on one side, right? Models that classify stuff, models that predict stuff, models that do all sorts of things, and then you have evaluation, uh, which or well, then you have evaluation methods, which are methods that evaluate the score of the model. They give you a score telling you how good or bad a specific model is performing, given a certain set of parameters or given a certain set of weights, or how good or bad a model is performing compared to some other model or some other method. So I need to look into that as well, because I feel like that's a very important aspect of not only data science but also deep learning, because you have to evaluate models in deep learning as well. I feel like to a certain extent, whatever I learn about evaluation through the various methods available in scikit-learn, I feel like they could be applied to PyTorch as well. Though, okay, um, we have something here, right? I think it's under optimization. PyTorch might have something for evaluating models as well. I remember PyTorch, within these docs, there was something mentioned. There was a specific framework or program or library or something mentioned. I think it was this one, which it it gives you the optimum set of hyperparameters. I forgot what the name. It had a nice name. It had a cool name. I don't remember. Give me a second. Uh Wait, what is this? Warm start. Warm start training a model. Oh yeah, this was it. Ray tune. Hyperparameter tuning can make the difference between an average model and a highly accurate one. Often simple things like choosing different learning rate or changing a network layer size can have a dramatic impact on your model performance. Okay, you know what? Okay, Fine. So, moving on from the Kaggle thing, oh, actually, wait, no, let's not move on. I got distracted because I got baited. I got baited by money. Shame on me. But dude, I was curious. I was curious because it said, "Holy shit, dude, $1.2 million. That is an insane amount of money. That is crazy." Okay. Oh, okay. So they're dividing it up into like, dude, I actually like this. No, I like this. It's not just first place. There's all the way up to fifth place as well. Because each of these people can probably like solve different problems. Okay. Threshold prizes and leaderboard prize winners. If any team in the top five places on the leaderboard reaches a score of 30%, an additional pool of 50,000 will be distributed amongst the winning teams reaching the threshold in direct proportion to. Okay, fine. Grand prize. If the first place team reaches a score of 90%, they will receive an additional. Oh, damn. The grand prize will be the first place team's total winnings, will bring the first place team's total winnings to $1 million. Man, okay, if they are willing to shell out that much money, then dude, like there's gonna be they're gonna be, how do I word this? If they're willing to give that much money, there's gonna be like strict requirements, I'd imagine. Like, how do I guess their evaluation is probably the best way. Like they're gonna make sure that it's like your model is doing a good job. I'm super interested in how they're evaluating how well how well the model is solving the issue. Submissions are scored using a simple metric that incentivizes skipping an issue over submitting a bad patch. Okay, score equals this, where A, B, and C are respectively the number of correctly resolved issues, the number of failing issues, and the number of skipped issues. Implemented in Python, this works out to so and so. Okay. Real quick, we're gonna go back to this. Actually, this is from Kaggle, but this is not the swag one. I wanted to open up the swag one to show you guys something. This is the swag one. That's cute. Backpack prediction challenge. Okay, let's read this. This competition challenges you to identify exploits for an LLM as a judge system designed to evaluate the quality of essays. You'll be given a list of essay topics, and your goal will be to submit an essay that maximizes disagreement between the LLM judges. Back up, back up. You'll be given a list of essay topics, and your goal will be to submit an essay that maximizes the disagreement between. Okay, I just understood what this is. Okay, that maximizes disagreement between the LLM judges. Your work will help to form a better understanding of the capabilities and limitations of using LLMs for subjective evaluation tasks at scale. That's clever. That is clever. This is okay. So the idea here is to, um, you would need to understand how LLMs work, how LLMs process the input, and how they quote unquote think, basically how they predict their next text. You would need to understand that in order to be able to get ideas for how to exploit Um, I was about to say exploit their system, but exploit them pretty much. Okay, okay, let's go back to this. So the reason I was mentioning the swag competitions is because so you have the competition itself, right? There's a bunch of information on what you're supposed to be um, what what you're supposed to be doing, but then you also have this discussion section where it's kind of like a mini forum for this competition. And there's a bunch of people posting things, there's people asking questions, there's people like this person, for example, backpack data explain. There's information being given about either the data set or possible methods that you could use, or somebody might be asking a question that, hey, I'm using this method, why doesn't this work, or should I be using this, or should I be using that? There's going to be people giving, there's all sorts of experts in these threads that help out in different ways. It's amazing. Like, if you are participating in this, in one of these competitions, even if you're not winning a prize, you'll still get to learn a lot. uh just participating in the competition and going through these threads, you'll gain so much knowledge that you can then carry forward to, any of the other competitions or any other things that you're doing in the future. It's it's still beneficial. So that's one of the reasons why I still want to do the swag competitions, after I've I've gotten more data science tools under my belt, so to speak. Okay, that being said, here's what we're gonna do. Now, I was kind of debating whether I want to do this or not. Um, okay, yeah, I was debating whether I want to do this or not, because I'm gonna start streaming again in a little bit, anyways. And then it's gonna look weird that, some people, they tend to be weird about you starting up your stream again later on. Like, to them, it kind of looks like you were just trying to get viewers from them. If you raid them and then maybe half an hour or 1 hour later, if they see you streaming again, they might get the wrong idea. So I'm trying to avoid those kinds of situations. Hopefully that doesn't happen. That's also one of the reasons why I wasn't too sure about whether I want to raid someone right now, because I'm going to be starting up a stream again later on, anyways. Um, Hold on. What is this? Twitch staff co-working sesh. Back up. Is this person Twitch staff? Working on creator clubs. That's crazy, dude. Twitch creator club co-working and coding. That's interesting. This is a person named Stream Nilo. Give me a second. I'm trying to scroll back up, and my mouse is just not agreeing with me. So I'm just going to close this. Okay. Where is my thing? Okay. So I'm going to check out this person's stream later on. For the time being, all right. Uh, you know what? Because I'm going to be starting up my no, dude, I want to raid someone. I want to raid someone. Though I do like to chat after raiding, and right now I just kind of want to get back to this, like all of the stuff that I'm doing. Um, yeah, okay. I'm spending too much time thinking about this. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna end the stream here. I'm gonna go get myself something to eat. I have some plum cake. So I'm gonna eat some of that, and then I'm gonna start up another stream, which is gonna be our data science lab stream. And today we are. So I didn't want to let that confusion matrix thing go. Like I was learning about the confusion matrix in one of the previous data science lab streams. I didn't want to just like leave that unfinished, but today I kind of feel like getting back to neural networks. So I think that's what we're going to do today. We're gonna we're gonna play around with neural networks. We're going to be going back to the basics, of course, of neural networks, and then we're going to slowly build up from there. Um, but yeah, dude, that's going to be it for now. I will start up another stream in like, I don't know, half an hour, maybe 1 hour. I'll see. Maybe I might start it up in like the next 20 minutes. I don't know. Maybe let's say half an hour, whatever. But yeah, that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it for now. I hope you guys have a nice day, and I will see you all next time, which is gonna be in the next half an hour or 1 hour or something. Peace.